Stone Age, because in my one hand I'm gonna have the phone recording you while you're talking there. We want to make sure that everyone sees you. Amazing! Oh my God, David from New York is watching us. You know David, who used to take Tony's photographs, so he's here too. Beautiful. Let me turn this one. Hold on 1 second. Dun, 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 dun. There you go. All right. Let me start this too. I'll be recording it. There we go. Amazing. If you're ready, let's rock and roll.
I'm ready.
Welcome on board, Ricardo. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you very much for taking the time. I told you I'm going to thank you again because I know how busy you are. I'm seeing it on Instagram. I'm seeing it on your Zoom links, and I just saw you recently in Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. And you took the time today. Tonight is such a special night. I know that it's Mother's Day as well. You took the time. So we're so thankful to you. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's a privilege and an honor not just to speak with you, but with so many people from Turkey, country that I love. I'm very, very excited to jump there as soon as possible and make me another country on this list of beautiful people around the world that I hate.
Amazing. And you are in Portugal right now, right?
At this point, I am 2 months, make tomorrow 2 months, on the same place, something that don't happen for more than a decade. I used to travel 500,000 kilometers a year, as you know, so I'm enjoying being stuck with the doors closed, but with my mind more open than ever. It's a brilliant experience.
So it was needed. Well, our watchers, they don't know you much, but I have already sent them your website and everything. Still, you have worked with many A+ level companies, including like Vodafone and Conrad International, and one of them that I saw, it was MSC, which I used to work for as well before I started personal growth industry. But more than that, you've been working with Tony for how many years now?
14 years.
Wow, for 14 years. That means a lot of miles all around the world. You've been going all around the world with him, right? So that did write you a lot of kilometers. And not only that, I'm looking forward to hearing your personal story with him in your life, as well as we're so excited to hear what happened with Corona. I know that you and your partner physically, you had to immune yourself first and then immune your business, right?
Yes. So it was a very good challenge. You make already a very good resume. Who am I? That is the question that I did in the last weeks more than ever in my life. Who am I?
Oh.
As well, who I am not. Because sometimes you don't have the clarity to understand and go deep in your soul, go deep in your mind, go deep in your experience. And sometimes you need to see whatever you don't are, whatever you are not, to make it clear. And God, the universe, whatever is your belief, give me a very good gift. On this quarantine, I was a bit distracted. I just arrived from Tony Robbins' birthday from LA. I've been guest on the event. It was an amazing event. All the celebrities. There is Ricardo, amazing life, running from one side to the other side.
Hollywood stars, lights, boom.
I sent you some pictures and some videos with all the personalities there. It was unbelievable. It was one of the best events I ever saw. And then I fly to Boston, and suddenly I get stuck in Boston. 2 flights that were being cancelled consecutive. I want to come back to Portugal. Was starting to listen about quarantine. They're gonna close the country, and there is Ricardo stuck. I have a course to start on Monday, so I get stuck in 2 days. Blessed that I have another trainer that give the course for me in the first days, and we work each other. But here was what starts the big change for me. I walked through the roads of Boston, thinking of who am I, what I'm doing here, how can I use this and make me a better person, but as well make a more impact in the companies that I work, make me a better businessman, and reach the world in a more special way. So this started here. I arrived to Portugal. I ended up the certification very well. It was the biggest certification coaching of ever in Portugal. We have 150 people doing the certification.
Nice.
And from a lot of companies coming, big companies from Portugal. I was very happy. And the first day of ending the certification, where we go deep on our thoughts, the government closed. So I was driving to the south. I have a house in the north and another in the south. But I never has been here more than 1 week. This is like a holidays house. So big challenge on my life. I don't have an office. This is set just to this. I just finished yesterday my new studio to make recordings and products online. So I spent a couple of thousands of euros, and I built here a studio here in Algarve. I didn't focus on complaining, but on the first weeks, I was very stuck. I call this a state of zombie.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, okay, we are inside of home. I like to run in the mountain. I train every day. How the hell am I going to train here? So I was not doing a lot, just watching. So I was not taking a state of action. And if you know the book there is a very good book on the leadership from Richard Barrett. He wrote different states how you can turn around the crisis.
Yes.
So I was thinking on this, like, okay, maybe I need to go to the jump on first level. And the first level on this is the survival. And I understand, I'm on the level 0. I'm waiting for something to happen. And here, we start to die slowly. And at this point, I know a lot of people here in this call. Myself, this was my biggest mistake on this quarantine. I was not doing anything. I was reading a book. I was taking the time. I was going deep on myself. But I was not acting. I didn't make a strategic plan to change my company 100% business, one-to-one, face-to-face. We organize events. We had products to sell, conference, workshops, but we weren't online. So when I start to realize, I just watch and say, I have €500,000 planned for the second semester. We did $250,000 in the first semester. Was 3 first months was really good. But now we are stuck at.
Now what are you gonna do?
0.
Yeah.
So I start to put the hands here. We are in survival mode. So these were very good because I start to think, plan. I put all the team together, guys. This is the time to create unity. This is the time to be together. So let's put ourselves together. Let's create a plan. Let's do a brainstorming. How can we move as fast as we can? However, the day I do that, I feel the corona symptoms.
Oh.
So my wife, 1 week before, she gets 4 days with a bit of fever, a bit of cough, some symptoms, and she was like very tired, but it was just 4 days. On the day I did the meeting, I get the biggest lesson. Act as fast as you can, whatever is the situation. Don't be worried with the problem. Worse, don't leave the problem. Immediately put the options on the table, and this is a very good strategy. What are my options at this point? And then reinvent yourself, reinvent your company, reinvent new products, innovate yourself. I didn't do that, so this is the first lesson. Big mistake. Learn how to deal with the mistakes. So to be even more challenged, I get sick. And myself, you know me, I never get sick in the last 14 years.
Yeah.
I don't take pills, no chemicals, no fever, nothing. I'm a bull of health because it's one of my passions. So I was like, I cannot be sick. And then I started to cough. No, it's not corona, I cannot be sick. And then I had head pain. I never had head pain in my life.
Yeah.
And then body, the muscles feeling pain. Then I started to have 37 of fever, 38, 39. I never get 39 in the last 14 years. So on the 4th day like this, symptoms very aligned with corona. My nails, different color. I was like, what happened? I get some paintings here in the hands. Immune system getting down. So the pigmentation.
Wow.
So on the 4th day, I go to the bed. Usually I have 36, 38 BPMs, and I have 80. I take the blood pressure. Usually I have 12.8, I did always, and this time I have 8.5. So all the symptoms like corona. And my fever reached 39.5. And my wife was like, no, you are going to the hospital. If you are not, I am taking you. And you know, in a good relationship, you know who is running the show.
Yes.
And I told her, okay, we go tomorrow. So I get here. This is like a war zone. When I get in the hospital here in Portugal, I never imagined that it was like that. It's like when you see in the television, it's very different when you go to war.
Yeah.
So you get there, there is an isolation part. They put me inside of a small room. No one is getting there, just a small window. 9 hours.
Oh my God.
They make me blood analysis on the first. I take 4 hours, like, they release my wife. My wife's saying, I'm good, I'm going back. I says, I'm gonna take a couple more minutes. Then they will make me a thorax exam. After a couple hours again, they send me to another analysis, and they don't do the test for me because they don't have it.
Oh, they don't have it yet. Oh my God.
So they show me the analysis, and two doctors, one say that I have a breast infection very high, and the other one is saying that I have some throat problems very high. And none of them knows if this is corona or not. So they send me home. So I come home, and what is when your number one value is going down? For me, number one value of my identity as a person is health and energy. So I arrive home. I just want to go down, lay down, but I have a life to do. So I did the live. My eyes are like this. I did the live with no energy, but I did it, commitment. And when I finish, I just get to the bed. I didn't sleep. I stayed 8 hours thinking on life. And I take a decision. If I can, I will never leave the opportunity to gain the trust of the problem. What is that? It's create the options on the table and act for it. Because a few years ago, the people who has really power, they have money, they were politicians, they have a position, they have a course or a master degree. Today is very different. Today is very powerful, those who act really fast. And I didn't react fast. So in the next day, I was very aware. We have, we have a partner in Brazil that has millions of followers. They have 1 million students in their school. It's huge. It's the biggest on all America. So he phoned me, asked me my coaching to help him. And I told him, I think I will need more your help than your help need me. And he was sharing how stressed he was, changing all the products that he had on presently to going online, and he just listened. And I finished just one quote to him. I tell him, Jose, you are simply amazing. You just gave me the biggest gift of my day. Because in 1 hour, you told me everything that I need to do, and I didn't do in the last 3 weeks. And you are doing this in just 1 day. You are amazing, I love you. So I shut down the telephone, and I started to implement. We're going to launch our academy, online academy. We are launching new products. We have a task force, coaching task force, to start in online as well. We are starting to sell. We come from zero in March, and this month we already have not much. We're around 50,000 euros that we are making, even without having the products. We are starting to selling the product before we have it.
Nice! How do you do that?
We put the targets. We think as a client, and we watch what is the biggest need at this point on the market.
Beautiful.
And definitely is everything connected to what? Certainty, security, and trust.
Yes.
And this is what I'm going to deliver. But I will have a product not like the other ones. I lost time on that. But they pick the products that I have, and they just copy to online. So I am creating, I'm recording new products special to the people at this point. We are starting in Portuguese, and we're going to have it in Spanish, and maybe in the future we're going to have it in English. But this is an amazing experience, just as an introduction. Never leave an opportunity for tomorrow, because you don't know if tomorrow is going to become. Today is the day, because the other day that exists in lives was yesterday. And this is a lesson that I take from Corona. Don't wait for Corona. Most of the people, they don't get the feelings. I get very weird symptoms because some days I was waking up, oh, I'm good. And then after a couple of hours, like if I'm here in this office, I will lay down in the floor. It was like I'm getting dead here. Oh, and I am very strong. I'm the strongest person in immune systems. I eat very well. I train every day. So this can reach anyone.
Wow.
This can reach anyone.
Wow,
So be careful with your health, and most of all, live your life with so many passion. Like today was your last day, and this is what I'm doing. This one is my 56 lives consecutive in less than 1 month, including that I had 12 days with coronavirus, almost like that. I only get out of the bed to do the lives. So 56, and I have 3 more to go today, and this is what is life. I'm doing this with passion. I'm doing this because I believe these words will become an inspiration, will become an action, will become an experience that will make the difference in the world. Just need one person to reach that inspiration, because that person can change the world.
Absolutely, I agree with you, and you've just been sharing a lot of good nuggets out there, so I just want to highlight them. You actually mentioned what I heard from Tony Robbins back in 2010 when he was going to do his first business mastery in Las Vegas. He said he was like super furious about the situation because remember the 2007 when America was going down, like the banking and also insurance companies and everything? He said, I don't want to survive. I want to thrive this period. And there I was just starting my business and I was thinking, what is this guy telling, And he said 5 things that you must consider at times of crisis, pandemic, or any type of economical uncertainty. The very first thing that you must do is get certainty, just like you said. First thing, what you need to do is get certainty. Whatever your way is. It could be creating a place where you're going to have your food, your water, or it could be spirituality. It could be just creating a routine, whatever that is. So number 1 is certainty. The second one is, just like you shared, make a goal and focus on your vision. You just said that it was so beautiful that I was waking up every morning to serve, to go online. In a way, that kept you waking up, right? Like that kept you like, I want to be healthy. The third thing that Tony says, decide and commit, which you already just shared. You said you have to decide and commit that you will not survive, but thrive at the end of this period. So like you did, putting up financial goals and then creating strategies and constantly changing and resolving the change in a way helped you to manage the situation. The fourth thing is resolve conflict or resolve change. And the fifth thing is, which is you're doing right now, you healed yourself and then you mean your business is to give back, right? So 5 things I just wanted to highlight. So back to you.
That's amazing. We are talking about one of the things that I believe most will increase in the next days. Leadership, the force of guiding the world to the next level. Not myself, not my business, not my country, but all humanity. This is an obligation, a personal obligation of everyone in this call, everyone in the world should do something different. If this is finishing and you go outside without changing anything, you are losing the biggest opportunity of our era. So leadership, they grow on the diversity. This is the biggest diversity we are living in our lives, at least on the world life.
I think they have to hear it again. I'm going to highlight that. Leadership? Again, come again? Leadership?
Leadership is growing on the diversity.
Amazing. Amazing.
So I believe the leaders, they are like tea bags. You know, like tea bags, you have here your tea. So when I put water inside, nothing happened. If I have the bag of tea here, nothing happened. But once the water is getting hot, as much hot it is, as much the tea bag will spread the incense the best. And this is what is the essence of the life. Now the war is very hot. We need to spread our best as a leader, as a businessman, as a corporate interpretation, as a position in the world, in our own relationships, with our colleagues in the company, with our wife and men at house, with our kids. So there is a lot of new things which should grow. And the first thing I did when I was recovering, I studied all the depressions in the world. When happened the biggest depressions?
Yes.
And something is common in all the depressions. One, all the depressions, they have a date to finish. They have a date to finish.
Yeah.
This is the certain that I have. I don't know when it's going to be, neither how, but I know that one day it is going to finish. And this is what happened in life. We always survive.
Yes.
So there is only 0.1% of the species in the world that we have fossils that we are alive. So very few in the world still alive. This is because we have this here, the mindset, and this is because we can educate ourselves and we have the intelligence to be different than the others. What you can do different? We can smile.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that it's so simple. Reach to on my own company. I have 140 people working with me. Reaching to the company and smile to them.
Yes.
Because I don't know if I'm going to smile tomorrow.
Wow.
If you smile in the biggest challenge, you're going to spread a new idea, a new culture.
Yeah.
Second one, when you come a crisis, you can become the most creative people of ever. So be creative. Use the imagination. Like
Yeah.
Walt Disney. He used imagination. And in this season, this is the ideal season to be an idiot with the new ideas. Because no one is going to be a pain in the ass with you.
Yeah.
So smile, create new ideas. And most of all, find what people will need.
Yes.
In the past, all the crises, they have a challenge on the offer. The market is offering this, and there was a gap on that. Or if the people was behind the offers, so they were not more behind the offers, and there was a gap. So two sides, offers and buy-ins. This crisis is the first crisis in the world that we have a gap on both.
Wow.
So we don't know what's going to happen. So the first certainty I get from here is we have the certainty this is going to finish. Second, what are the options we have in this vision, in this scenario? What is the options that I have in my company? What is the options that I have in my own behavior as a leader, as a relationship? So put more than one option in the table to choose the best. And third, believe. Because faith will be always stronger than anything else. If you believe in yourself, if you have faith that this will get better, you'll become a huge leader. And this is what you really are, a leader. Because in the courage, when you study the emotions, I speak a lot about emotions, you have a neutral emotion that calibrates on 220 bytes. And the word is called as courage.
Yes, courage.
Below this, what you have? Negative emotions.
Yeah.
Embarrassment, fear, unhappiness. But above this, you have happiness, peace, illumination. On my words, we have results. And this is what passions me. Results on my company. I have 7 different companies. Let's work in different areas. All my companies that don't have success. I failed a couple of companies before I reached this company.
Mm-hmm.
But now I am stronger than ever. If this company will fail, I will create a new company. Because another pattern on these recessions, look at this. In 1929, on the biggest depression, some of the biggest leaders in the world, they became after that. Good or bad leaders, they became after that. And watch this. There was a couple of companies that they happened. The Mundial Bank happened after this depression. You have other companies like, for example, Nutella. You know, the cacao.
Yeah. After all that depression, we needed Nutella.
Watch this. When I read this article, I didn't know the story of Nutella. So Nutella was a guy who was selling cacao, chocolate with cacao. But cacao prices was getting high, so he didn't have money to sell the chocolate cacao. So what the hell can I put in cacao to keep selling my products? Hazelnuts. He lives in a place that has hazelnuts, but he never watched this. All the world can sell cacao with the hazelnuts. No one watched it. But this guy who was without cacao, let's see what is this experience. Let's mix it. Today we have Nutella all over the world.
Yes.
Let's jump a bit more. Let's go to the Second War. Some of the biggest millionaires was made that season. One of the biggest influence of Tony Robbins, he jumped to Japan. He buy immediately after the bomb, he started buying land, and he bought the Honda. You know the Honda? The cars?
Yeah.
He became one of the first billionaires in the world. But in countries like in Europe, between Turkey and Portugal, we have, for example, Italy.
Yeah.
So Italy, after the Second War, there was a guy, he didn't have money to repair cars. Didn't have money to create a new company, but he became with ideas. So I have the products here, the engine. What about if I do a small vehicle, less expensive, that we can go around? So he creates Vespa. He's called his name. Do you know the Vespa in Italy?
Yeah.
Enrico Piaggio.
Piaggio! That's where the company name comes from. Piaggio, yeah, the scooters. Wow.
So there is so many stories if you research on the right place. And if you remember the last depression, most of you guys, you should remember 2008, 2009. We have Airbnb coming in 2008.
Yeah.
You have Uber,
Yeah.
2009. WhatsApp. You know the WhatsApp message?
Yes.
2009.
Really?
Instagram.
Wow.
Instagram, 2010. All these products in this crisis, they were created almost without investing. So my hallucination here, my understanding, my learnings here is that we are in the ideal season to change yourselves, your business, and help for a better world. There was no better season in our age until today, like today. But this have one rule. Don't get on zombie state.
Yeah.
Because in on zombie state, you are distracted. You need to go to the second level and get the feeling where is the state, survival state. Because after these two, we still have two more levels. We go to the third level. And the third level is the adaptation state. Is where you become flexible. Is where you adapt all the products that you have to a new product. Is where you become a better leader. Is where the people are all stuck at home and you are working in your team. I'm going to be honest. I'm full of seeing everyone beside of a box. But I just don't care. I know that one day I'm going to be with them. So let's work all day. We do meetings until late night every week with my team. Developing, changing products, increasing their skills. What else we do? Let's do a brainstorm. And this is what we can do at this season. We need to adapt. Because then you're going to have the fourth level of survival theory. And this theory is very powerful. And the fourth level, I'm going to tell you in the next call just to make sure everyone is coming.
So this is your fourth one, know how to promote yourself. Amazing. Yeah, thank you for that.
First level, my dear friend, is reposition yourself. Who are you when this is going to finish?
Oh, who are you going to become at the end of this process? Yes, a big one.
This is the first strong question I said every day when I wake up. How am I going to be? How is going to be my health? I'm going to be stronger than ever, more than a bull. I was a bull before, now I'm going to be a super bull. How is going to be your smartness, your leadership, your kindness in your company?
Wow.
Because something needs to change. How is going to be in your relationship with your wife, with your man, with your kids, with your parents? I have friends, as you know, I work a lot with Spain. Every week I'm doing a free session to contribution to all my Spanish friends. Is open. There's people for the different countries. And what I do is that, okay, give me a problem. And they start it. And they give me the problems. And I do a coaching live with the last one was 450 people. So what is the problem? And I coach them live. This is very kind, this is very nice. And the other day, there was a good friend of mine. He came and he said, hey, Ricardo, I love you, brother. You help me more. You are helping Spain as never one before. Not even the Spanish are helping us as much as you. But I need to be honest with you. I'm very depressed. My parents, they died yesterday.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm sorry about that. I cannot help. I just want to share my story. They died in a hospital. And they even don't allow me to say goodbye.
Ugh. Ugh.
So this can happen to people that we know. And I like this guy. He's a very good friend. We do business together. And I told him, did you find the gifts? And he told me, not yet. But I'm going to contract you as my coach to find the gifts. And he started to laugh, and then he started to cry, and then I almost cried. I told him, so we need to come from the heart in the hardest situations.
Yeah.
So you are a very good friend. When this call is finished, I'm going to do a one-on-one session to you, and I will make sure in the next days you go say goodbye to your parents in the best way you can do it. And then we'll become a better person.
Wow.
Do we have an agreement? And he said yes. And this is what I believe we can do after this call. Become more. Become more. Why we are competing if you can cooperate each other?
Exactly.
Why we are dividing a slice of a cake when we all contribute to a bigger and better cake? We need to do the same cake at this point.
Absolutely.
There's no difference between Turkey and Portugal.
Yeah.
We are brothers in humanity. The enemy is the same, and we don't know him. We don't see him yet.
Yes.
So this is the time we get stronger together. Why, if you call me, hey, Ricardo, can you set a call now? We're planning to come to Turkey, but now we cannot because we cannot fly. Of course. Because if this call touch one beautiful soil that changed his life, and feel the inspiring of becoming a better person, our job is done.
True.
Because this person will feel the need to serve other soul, to improve their own business, their own career. And that person will be an example, not a victim. And leadership, a victim, they don't live together. Victim, they complain, they justify, they compare with the others, they criticize. Victorious, the leader, they watch better than it is. They do what's right. They become authentic in a world that wasn't not authentic. This is my belief.
Wow, beautiful. And while you're sharing this, I just remembered like 3 nights ago, I was on LinkedIn, and Sanofi, like one of the big companies, they recently got together with their biggest rival to create vaccination. And I was thinking, like this virus, which we think like it's a bad thing, it's actually awakening people that our real competition, they're not outside of us, it's inside of us. Like, compete with who you are. Like, this is the time to unite, just like you said. I love it. And I know that you do motivation speaking, so we're so much looking forward to seeing you live here in Turkey. And you really inspired us with your story. And I do believe that at the end of this pandemic, just like you said, it's gonna be a bright picture. But at the same time, Ricardo, I was just checking with some leaders from San Diego. They did run some statistics with artificial intelligence, just like you did. They put together the numbers and the years that pandemic happened on this earth. So they came up with this pattern, and with that they created a vision looking forward to decide which day this is going to end. They said like almost like around like end of May it's going to end, but with the countries that, just like Middle Easterns, or like you, like Spain, like the Mediterranean blood, we love to hug each other and stuff. There might be another spread just like mid-July. So they had this vision towards the summer. In any case, what would you recommend? I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but if it happens again, like if this corona goes to a peak, what would you recommend? Just one recommendation, how to find certainty within. Because I think that's going to be the key thing from tonight, because many people around me as well, they came to me with screams like, oh my God, the world is ending. You know, I'm like, change that focus. And then like, I'm not going to say that F word, but they were like looking at me like I'm an alien, you know? So what would you say? How can they shift their focus from uncertainty to certainty?
That's a brilliant question. I have one word to that. Just one word to answer to you. However, first I'm going to watch the frame that you share with us, because I don't know as well. There is some theories that they are saying that it's going to be more 2-3 waves after this. There is some people that they say that the weather is going to kill it or is going to make it stronger. So there is 3 things that I do when I start to be insecure or uncertainty. These are 3 things that I do. But before the 3 things, I'm going to answer to your question with this loop that I did with just one word. I will be even more responsibility. So the ability of respond with a lot of qualities with doing what's right. And give you an example. I can control get out of my house and have the mask, wash my hands, give 2 meters away from distance to people. Yes. So it's my responsibility to do that. Not because at this point I'm very safe more than anyone else, because I already got it. So probably it's going to be very hard coming here. However, I don't know if I can spread this to the other people. So I'm going to do my part. It's my responsibility to save the others. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be more responsible. And I already shared the first thing I do when I start to become insecure. This is the key question for me. Should I control or do not control? And I give you example the mask or washing the hands or keep the distance. I control that. I don't control how fast or slow the coronavirus will spread. So I don't spend my mindset, my focus, my intention on that. Because if not, that's what I'm going to survive. I'm going to give you another example. Should I influence what is coming up on the news, on the television? Maybe very slowly. Today I'm going to have a huge conference with top guys from the TV in 1 hour. So you see there is a ritual. And maybe this will spread the media. But my power of influence in the media is very slow yet. Because I don't have very powerful there. So if I don't influence them, why am I going to put my attention on them? Because I will suffer. And when I have doubts, I do the experience. So take one day and watch the TV 2-3 hours, the news. So you're going to be spread in your mind by 95% of the time, the problem, the deaths, the people are sick, and the more problems, and then the economy is dying. Then change to the other day and don't even touch the news.
Yes.
Don't touch the
TV. That's a big one,
yes. Just read good books, just listen good audios, or if you have doubts, phone for one of us, and you will be like, we will be happy.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, ask, how do I feel my day? Was it a better day or a worse day? And I bet with you, you're going to be surprised. And how good is the day that you don't get distracted? So first one, should I control this or do not control this? If you do not control, don't waste time. Focus on what control. Second, should I influence this or I cannot influence this? So if you don't influence, get out of the way and focus your attention on what you influence. And the last one and third one, to make sure how we switch from uncertainty to certainty, if you control, if you influence, then you need to do the third question. The third question is going to be in the next webinar. Continue again.
When shall we schedule it to?
The people are here, they're going to do like this. Come here, Ricardo, and watch out. I'm very big. I don't have 2 meters 5 like Tony Robbins, but homos. Well, that's it. So the third question. I control, I influence, and the third one is this. Do I have this or I don't have this? Because when you focus on what you don't have, you're gonna suffer. You're gonna lose time. You're gonna get yourself imbued with no gratitude, with ignorance.
Yes.
Because we only can measure what we have. So pick what you have, pick what you control, what you influence. I'm pretty sure that you're gonna create the best products in the world. You're gonna create the best version of yourself. You're gonna be an important part in this world to a better world. So this is my sharing. One word and 3 steps.
Wow, amazing. Thank you very much for that. And we're getting these, wow, beautifully said, full of passion in it, the words, and also applicable. I love that. They're like very easy steps that they can follow through. I really don't know what time it is, but thank you, David. David is saying you hi, and he's saying amazing. He says that was amazing as well. And many of the other people that have attended Tony Robbins says Unleash the Power Within, they're saying hi from the live. You know, I'm also recording from my phone too. So you're everywhere. Oh my God. There you go. Renee is saying great content. I agree with you, Renee. Absolutely. Are you still in Australia? I don't know. I think he got stuck in Australia as well. He's still there. So you have people watching from all over the world. But again, like the content was so much valuable, and not only the Turkish people, but other people are getting this. They can feel you like, oh wow. Hold on 1 second. Wow. Yeah, not only that, we have UK. Whoo, we had a lot of people around the world. I'm gonna count the countries later on. Thank you very much. I mean, I really want to keep on asking you questions because you're dropping the golden words, but I know that you have to go to another one.
One good question I would love to answer everyone. We'll not have time to do that, but we can answer if there is a way to answer. I'm not seeing, but if there is a way, big head to David and to Renee as well, and to all the others, good friends all around the world. In these last years, I have been training people in 29 countries, even without knowing. This started just with like, okay, someone invited me, hey, do you want to come to here, to Italy, give a training? Oh, my Italian is very small, I just speak 5 languages, but Italian is not the best one. Now you come. When I saw it, 29 countries. It's going to happen after this crisis, it's going to happen the same. You will be very fast. You will not even figure out how fast you are reaching the people. Can I share a small story very fast?
Oh, please do.
Oh, watch this. I'm the worst guy on technology before quarantine. I just used a bit Instagram for 1 year because I went to Brazil, give a speech, and they asked me, what is your Instagram? I didn't have it. So in the day I do one and said, now I have an Instagram, but I don't have anyone. And then I rise 200 or 300 people. So I'm not a technology guy before this. So when this started on the first day, on the 9th of March, it was like, I'm feeling something strange. I told my wife, I'm feeling something strange. I feel that I need to do something different. So I opened up the Instagram live, and I did a live, just me and myself. Guys, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I feel that I need to contribute. I'm here, and then suddenly it was 5 people, then 10 people, then 20 people, and I challenged myself. I said, we need to go to the outside comfort zone. We need to do something different. I never do this. So, in public, tell me, how can I help you? And then there was a lady that she came up. She was in New York, New Jersey, and she told me how challenged was her life at this point. The husband lost the work, and she will be stuck at home, and this will be worse. And in this season, they didn't have too many challenges. And I did a small coaching one-to-one, and that really in a good way. I felt very good. I share with her, and I commit with her. I'm going to do more of this. So I started to do one a day. After 1 week, I remember, why I don't speak with all my friends around the world, around in Portugal, and let's create a unity, a task force, a force for the good. Yeah. So I invited top guys, sports guys, champions guys that work with me from martial arts, soccer. Then I bring all the TV stars that I coach, and they say, yes, Ricardo, we come. Then I bring one politician that he did work with me, and now he's more business guy, more spiritual. He came as well. Then I start to interview regular people, and at this point we are doing 56 lives all in a row. We reach millions of people we cannot measure because it's so many people, and there is lives that in a moment we reach more than 3,000, 4,000 people in the time, and then during the 24 hours we reach 30,000, 40,000 people. Unbelievable. I get an invitation from a guy that he has 1.2 million people to do a live with him, and we have like 1,000 people live in the same moment. It was like, this happened when you come from one position. And I believe this is the only position we're going to rescue from this season. And that position is the position from the heart. When you stop to be fear, when you stop to complain, when you stop to watch the things that are not giving results, and you put yourself in a position of a real leader, coming from the heart, doing what's right. And sometimes you don't need too many experience for that. I remember when I was in Silicon Valley, and I meet the biggest companies there. With a very good friend, Vicky, I hope he's here. He's the owner of one of the biggest chains of real estate in USA. He drive me there, and I like to do good questions. So as we were sharing with him, I was saying, hey, there was one time that I went to speak in Israel, and the guys like, this is like a second Silicon Valley. They are really focused on business, and they do business easier than other countries. What do you believe what happened in Israel, and what do you believe is the difference of Silicon Valley? And he was thinking, and he was like, you are very sharp on your questions. I know the companies in Europe. I know the companies around the world. So the first thing I know that these guys do different than you is they accept the failure.
Accept the failure, yeah.
And they deal good with that.
Yeah.
And in our culture, Turkey, Portugal,
we don't like that.
Together, we protect each other, the family, the people, that we don't accept. Oh, we cannot fail.
Yeah.
So if we can accept the failure, not repeat. Note this. I'm not telling you repeat the failure. That is a disgrace. I'm telling you about the biggest university in life is fail and learn from it.
Yes.
This is unbelievable. So this is, I think, is the first one. And this in the technology is essential because they are changing all the time, changing. Second thing he told me in my ear is the cooperation, the sense of unity. He's putting everyone on the same company, going to the same direction and same results. And the third one is the strongest one on this season. So for some people, it's a more emotional characteristic. Some people maybe more is spiritual. On my opinion, is the guiding one. Is the kindness.
Yeah.
Is the contribution you're going to bring to the world. One of my guests was the president of Nurse here in Portugal, and he was asking help about the nursing on the front line in the hospitals. They didn't have the results. And I told him, brother, we are in the same place. We are together on this. So as a coach, as a leader, I want to help you. I don't know how to help you, but I'm going to tell you in 1 week I'm going to set a platform. So you're going to have at least twice a week my team of coachings. They're going to coach all your people to a better life. So we have twice a week, all the nurses, 70,000 in Portugal, they are coming to our platform and they share their problems, they share their goals, they share the different approaches, different meanings. So it's like almost a coaching, NLP, emotional intelligence course to nurses. And they are much better at this point.
By the way, without you knowing it, you're answering a question that's been asked in the chat. They asked how the future workplace is going to be after COVID. And at World Economic Forum, and also another statistic and also a future review done with PwC, they say that in 2035, people in corporate life, especially C-levels, they're going to be looking for emotional intelligence. Not anymore the analytical parts, because artificial intelligence and many other programs will be taking care of that. So like you said, number one, emotional intelligence is going to be very crucial in the future workplace. And the second one is corporate culture is going to be very important in the future. So we are also answering a question that was asked.
Nothing happens without a reason. We are all connected.
That's true. That is true.
If you go to neuroscience, our brain, we have three unique brain. So we have the neurocortex, is the outside superficial part of the brain that is connected with the rational thoughts, the logical, the numbers, and this is how we talk, we understand each other. However, we have the unconscious mind, a deeper parts of the brain, splitting in two parts. One in the brain, limbic brain, so it's connected with emotions. And here is the bridge between the neocortex, the rational brain, and the emotional brain. So both they need to work together. A few years ago, before Daniel Goleman, no one was speaking about emotional intelligence.
True, very
So
true.
I recommend here a book for leaders. It's called The New Leadership, where Daniel Goleman, he's recommend the vision leadership, the advising leadership, the relationship leadership. He's very good on this. It's a very good book because this is the future. And then you have the last one, the most deep, for me the most powerful, that you can guide this brain with the old tools, simple tools that no one is using it. I'm going to give at least one tool if you want to reach there. And this is the most profound brain. So you have the neurocortex, you have the limbic, and this is the most ancestral brain connected with our nervous system, survival systems. And this brain is the brain that deals with the intuitive, your intuition. So when you feel passion, you are connecting with this. So if I have only one recommendation to the leadership here, to the people who want to change their life and others, those that they love, do whatever is passion in yourself.
Yes.
Work with passion.
Yes.
Communication with passion. Speak with passion. Put the passion in everything that you do because you're going to live a different life. And sometimes it's very easy. I'm going to give you an example on this more I don't know the word in English, but the more old brain, let's call it like this, the more intuitive brain. The best way to connect with this brain is just changing the breathing. And we breathe all the day. And no one is thinking on breathing at this point. We are using less than 20% of our lungs resource.
Yeah.
Maybe we are using less than 20% of our own resources as a human being. So watch your brain. Watch your simple steps. Do what I do. This is what I did to my cup. This meaning is that find the best version of yourself in Portuguese. Why I put this here? Because all the day I'm here entertaining myself and I read this and I believe that this is me, this is you. Spread the best of you. Create simple steps. This always reminding my mind. Repetition is the master of skills. Remind yourself how good you are, how magnific you are, how unique you are if you put yourself in a position of the heart, serving others without asking anything. And this is how to be a good leadership.
Yes.
Because old companies like Turkey and Portugal, there was one CEO, a couple of employees, and the CEO hold the contacts, hold the money, hold everything, concentrating on him. There is a new world coming. And in this new world, we develop each other. And this is just my hallucination of the future. When the date of finish the quarantine come, there is something that will have a unique value as never before. And this is the relationships.
Yes.
The connection.
Yes.
The hug. The touch. Eyes in the eyes. The words of recognition. And this is the future. User. Someone in a old past, one of my mentors, and for me a mentor is not someone that I go and do a course and listen a couple of hours and go away. It's someone that I talk directly, regularly, like I do with Tony. I talk with Tony every month, like I do with a master trainer of Tony Robbins' industry. I talk with him regularly. So this was one of my best coaches with Jerry. And Jerry, he always passed the right solutions, the right advice, the right trainings and the right coach to yourself. And one day he told me, if you have doubts, you don't have doubts. Change the world taking the decision. And I start to decide. Every time I have a doubt, I put the options and I decide. Because Tony is the first one saying, change the world when you start to decide.
Yes.
Decisions is the mothers of all the changes in the world. And just depend on one person. Yourself.
It's you.
You control, you influence, and you have yourself. So this is the main word. Decisions.
Absolutely. Well, man, I know you have to go. We don't want to let you go, but it's I'm assuming we have like 5 more minutes, maybe even not. Let me see. Oh, it's 7:55. Wow. Wow, we're right on time. It's just amazing. This was beautiful content. I think from this 55 minutes, I think we can, with this content, we can create like 5 seminars. Like if we would focus on one topic, this would be a whole 3-day event. We look forward to having you here in Turkey. Not only that, maybe let's see how this thing is gonna affect us or not. But in October, am I gonna see you in Birmingham, UPW Birmingham?
I hope so.
I hope so. Okay. By the way, you just got an invitation to Switzerland as well. Eylem is, she wants to host you in Switzerland. Perfect. I'm going to connect you guys. I think this is how the world is going to unite. Like letting go of our egos, letting go of our me-only consciousness, but thinking about we, and then connecting each other to other countries. I think a beautiful, future is waiting for us. But of course, if we do the change, if we be the change. Thank you very much again. We'll look forward to seeing you again. And then any last words that you would like to share?
Sure. I don't know if you have a question. I still have a time for a question.
Oh, you do? Okay. Well, yeah, because I know that you're going to go to another one. Let's see.
Watch this. The only way I can make myself a better person is accept the uncertainty what is coming from the other side. So when someone make a question that you don't know what it's going to be, it's a very challenging way, but it's a good way to grow. I don't have the answer sometimes, but I love the questions, especially when there is special and hard questions. So give me your best question.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let our viewers do that. Boom, I'm gonna drop that ball to them. I'm gonna think it too, but at the same time, please do type in if you have any questions. This is the last 3-4 minutes, or the ones who are watching us live on Instagram. Let us know if you have any questions about leadership. It could be questions about finding certainty, how to thrive at uncertainty times. Any question that comes to your mind, please share it with us. Eylem asks, what is your advice to protect from COVID?
Well, the best advice is focus yourself on the immune system, because I don't know the COVID. What I know from COVID is what I feel on my body was very strong.